We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey, you. So you've been digging into WrestleMania 41, right? And look, there's a lot out there. It can feel like a whole universe to get into, figuring out what actually matters. We've kind of gone through all the stuff you share, the articles, the buzz, all of it, to basically pull out the core info. Think of this as, your quick guide to what looks like it's going to be a massive couple of nights.
Exactly. Yeah, the world of WrestleMania can seem pretty huge if you're not already fully immersed in it.
Right.
So our goal here is just to give you a clear, insightful look at WrestleMania 41. We're pulling this straight from the material you've been looking at.
Okay.
We'll cover why it's such a big deal, the key details for this year, dates, location, how to watch, and then touch on some of the bigger matches and storylines.
So by the end, you'll have a pretty good handle on what's coming up.
Yep, that's the plan. You should feel informed, ready to kind of engage with it if you want to.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Based on what you've been reading, what is WrestleMania fundamentally? It's obviously more than just, another wrestling show.
Oh, definitely. Looking at the sources, it's crystal clear that within WWE, WrestleMania is absolutely the pinnacle. It's got a weight, a significance, kind of like the Super Bowl in its own world.
Okay, like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but with this unique mix of top-tier athleticism and these really long-running dramatic stories.
Right.
It's basically the event the whole WWE year builds towards. You get the biggest stars, highest-stakes matches, often these incredibly elaborate stage setups.
And celebrities sometimes pop up too, right?
Yeah, that's another layer. Celebrity appearances are pretty common, adds to the whole spectacle.
So from the material we've seen, it's not just about the athletic side in the ring.
That's a really key point that comes up in several sources, yeah. I mean, the athleticism is incredible, no doubt. But WrestleMania is just as much about seeing these storylines pay off. Stories that have sometimes been brewing for months, maybe even years, Pro wrestling has that theatrical side, and those narratives are what really hook the audience, create that emotional investment.
Makes sense. Now, something that really jumped out from the background stuff you looked into is that WrestleMania isn't new. It has quite a history, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The first WrestleMania was way back in 1985. That detail pops up in some of the historical pieces you shared.
Wow, 85.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to see how it grew from that single event into this, global phenomenon we see today. Over the decades, it's really become a cornerstone of wrestling culture. So many iconic moments happen there.
Shaped the whole industry, really.
Totally.
And the format's changed too, hasn't it? I saw some mentions about it being more than just one night now.
That's right, yeah. As is pointed out in the info you provided, it's ballooned from just one, admittedly huge night into a whole multi-day thing.
Right.
WrestleMania 41 follows that trend. It unfolds over two separate nights, Saturday and Sunday.
Which probably helps pack more in, I guess.
Exactly. It lets them showcase more matches, more talent, without making either night feel like, a marathon. Makes for a bigger WrestleMania weekend feel, too.
Okay, so let's get down to the specifics for this year. WrestleMania 41, the essentials. Where is it happening? When's it happening?
All right. WrestleMania 41, the 41st one, is happening in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Allegiant Stadium.
Ah, the Raiders Stadium. Okay.
Yep. The sources you looked at really highlighted as, a super modern place, huge capacity, basically perfect for the kind of spectacle WrestleMania aims to be.
Gotcha. Allegiant Stadium, Vegas. Noted. And dates for people wanting to mark their calendars.
They want Saturday, April 19th, and Sunday, April 20th. It's 2025, of course. Those are the two big nights.
April 19th and 20th, 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
And start times. When does the main action get going?
The main shows, both Saturday and Sunday, they kick off at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. And something else your sources probably mentioned, there's usually a pre-show, too. That tends to start earlier, maybe around 4:00 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. And those often have matches, too.
Yeah, they often do. Matches, analysis, basically building up the hype for the main card.
Good heads up on the pre-show. Now, just quickly, for folks in different time zones, can we run through those start times again? 7 p.m. Eastern is?
Sure thing. So 7 p.m. Eastern, that means 6 p.m. if you're in the Central Time Zone.
Okay.
5 p.m. for Mountain Time viewers.
Okay.
And then out on the West Coast, Pacific Time Zone, the main show starts at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Pacific.
Right.
Definitely key to know for planning.
Absolutely. Got to plan your snacks accordingly.
All right, so we know the when and the where. Now, a really crucial bit of info from the sources you shared is how to actually watch it. This sounds like a big shift.
Yeah, this is a key takeaway for sure. For anyone watching in the United States, WrestleMania 41 is going to be exclusively streaming on Peacock.
Peacock, NBC's thing.
That's the one. NBC Universal's platform. You'll need a Peacock Premium subscription to watch it.
Okay, premium subscription. And what about for our listeners outside the U.S.?
So this is where it gets really interesting, and it's a big change highlighted in your sources. Outside the U.S., WrestleMania 41 will stream on Netflix.
Netflix. Wow. Okay, that is a major shift.
Huge. Yeah, it marks a really significant move for WWE in reaching their international audience.
So what does this mean for the WWE network then, which, many fans use for years?
Well, as your sources probably detail, the network's role has definitely changed with these deals.
Right.
In the U.S., Peacock is now pretty much the main hub for WWE's big live events, their premium live events.
Right.
And internationally, Netflix is now stepping into that spot for WrestleMania and possibly, other big shows down the line.
Okay, so summarizing. Peacock in the U.S., Netflix outside the U.S.
Right on it.
Got it. Right. Let's dive into maybe the most exciting part, the actual matches. WrestleMania is famous for its huge matchups. From the info you gathered, what can you tell us about Night 1? Give us a taste of the key fights.
Okay, Night 1 looks pretty compelling based on the sources. There's a huge main event planned for the WWE Championship. It's a triple threat. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Wow. Reigns, Punk, Rollins, all in the same match.
Yeah. The material you looked at likely really stresses the complicated history and the intense rivalries between those three, so expect plenty of drama there.
A triple threat for the top title definitely sounds high stakes. What other championship belts are on the line on Night 1?
Well, the card looks pretty loaded with title matches. You've got Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey and Uso. That one, people are expecting a real clash of styles.
Gunther's intensity versus Jey's energy, yeah.
Exactly. Then Tiffany Stratton puts the WWE Women's Championship up against Charlotte Flair. That's being billed as kind of like a generational clash.
Stratton and Flair. Okay.
Also, the WWE United States Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. That promises, lots of athleticism, intensity.
Billy Knight, yeah. Okay.
And for tag team fans, the World Tag Team Championship sees the War Raiders defending against the New Day. Should be top-level tag team wrestling.
That is a lot of gold on the line just for Night 1. Were there any other non-title matches that stood out from the info you saw?
Yeah, a couple more caught my eye. Jade Cargill is apparently facing Naomi. Seems like there's a pretty significant personal rivalry driving that one.
Cargill and Naomi.
Mm-hmm. And for fans of the high-flying stuff, Rey Mysterio is set to take on someone called El Grande Americano. Expected to be a fast-paced lucha libre style match. Lots of aerial moves.
Mysterio always delivers that excitement. Okay, Night 1 sounds absolutely packed, but WrestleMania is 2 nights now. What's looking like the big stuff for Night 2 based on your review?
Night 2 looks just as big, honestly.
Okay.
The main event there is for the undisputed WWE Championship. It's the current champ, Cody Rhodes, against John Cena.
Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, seriously, for the undisputed title.
Yep. That's what the sources indicate. It's being positioned as, the modern star versus the WWE legend, the absolute highest stakes.
Wow. Okay, that definitely grabs your attention. What other title matches are scheduled for Sunday?
Night 2 also has a Women's World Championship triple threat. IYO, SKY versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Just 3 top female stars going at it.
Sky, Belair, Ripley, that could steal a show.
Could easily. There's the Intercontinental Championship. It's a fatal 4-way. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio.
A 4-way? That sounds like pure chaos.
Yeah, fatal 4-ways usually are.
Yeah.
High potential for unpredictability there. And the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship is also on the line. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, showcasing the women's tag division.
Good to see the tag titles getting a spotlight, too. Any other standout matches planned for Night 2 besides the title fights?
Absolutely. Drew McIntyre is facing Damian Priest in what they're calling a Sin City street fight.
Ooh, street fight in Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, so expect that one to be pretty brutal, likely involving weapons, more hardcore rules. And then there's a really interesting one, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Styles versus Logan Paul. The veteran versus the internet guy.
Exactly. The seasoned pro versus the, let's say, controversial internet personality who's dipped into boxing. The clash of styles and personalities there should be, well, unique.
Definitely intriguing.
Oh, and one more thing. Randy Orton is apparently doing an open challenge.
An open challenge. So anyone could show up.
Pretty much. He issues the challenge, and we wait to see who answers it. Adds a nice bit of unpredictability to the night.
Okay, this whole lineup across 2 nights sounds absolutely massive. But it's clear from the material, WrestleMania is more than just the sum of its matches, isn't it? There's a bigger picture.
Oh, definitely. As some of the sources you looked at probably mentioned, you've got key figures behind the scenes like Stephanie McMahon in leadership roles, playing big parts and just making an event of this size happen, promotion, production, all that.
Right.
And like we touched on earlier, the storylines, those long-term narratives leading into the matches are just fundamental. That's what builds the audience interest, the emotional connection.
Yeah, and the place itself. Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
The setting becomes part of the show, right?
Totally. Allegiant Stadium is, state of the art. And WrestleMania is famous for its incredible stage designs. These aren't just simple sets. They're often huge, custom-built structures that really add to the visual wow factor.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. They look insane.
They really do.
Oh.
Plus, just the sheer number of fans. Tens of thousands fly in from all over the world. That creates this electric atmosphere you just don't get anywhere else.
And I bet Vegas loves having it there, too.
Oh, for sure. Some sources probably mention the economic impact. An event like WrestleMania brings a massive boost to the host city. Tourism, local businesses, it's a big deal.
It really does sound like this major cultural event way beyond just the wrestling ring. So, okay, let's try and wrap this up. What are the absolute key takeaways someone should have about WrestleMania 41 after this deep dive?
Right. Pulling it all together from the sources, WrestleMania is still WWE's absolute biggest show of the year. It's this huge blend of sport and entertainment with a massive global reach. This year, WrestleMania 41, it's in Las Vegas, April 19th and 20th. Main shows start 7 p.m. Eastern each night.
And watching it.
Crucially, you watch it on Peacock if you're in the U.S. and on Netflix if you're outside the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, expect a stacked card full of major title matches and storylines that have been building for a long time.
Okay. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener. When you think about WrestleMania's long history, how it's evolved, and now this really significant shift to streaming platforms like Peacock and Netflix internationally, what bigger trends do you think this might signal? How we watch major sports, major entertainment events in the future? Definitely something to chew on. And hey, maybe explore some more WrestleMania history if this got you interested. Thanks for joining us.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Stephen at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Stephen.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.